All right, agenda item 7E is the Industrial Authority Series 2026 bonds. Ms. Dukes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As discussed during our work session yesterday, we are ready to move forward with the finalization of the Industrial Authority Series 2026 bonds. We have talked about the fantastic growth opportunity that this is for our community. See our development authority continue to grow, to bring in more inventory with related to our industrial parks and its expansion, to be ready for that growth when it comes. As you all know, to be competitive, we have to be ready whenever they come knocking on the door. There's not a lot of time to catch up, and so this initiative will allow us to be ready. We're excited about some of the prospects that the Industrial Authority has. Yesterday, some of us met with them, and they are working on one of 8 seriously interested industries right now, and so they are very confident that most of those may land here in some shape, form, or fashion, and this is a part of that initiative. So Mr. Tom Owens with Raymond James is here this evening. He's going to provide some information and any technical questions that you have related to this issuance. Please address them to him.
I don't know why you laid that off on me, but okay.
Well, you got backup just in case you need it.
Well done, Mr. Owens. Thanks for coming.
Yes, sir, thank you for having me. Like Ms. Duke says, I'm happy to answer questions you might have with this. I'll hit the high points, and then to the extent y'all want more information, I'll be happy to give it to you. These are the bonds that you have sort of approved in concept previously. Today was the day that we went out to the market with those bonds and actually signed up actual investors to loan the money to the Industrial Authority Development Authority. The bonds fit within the parameters that you previously approved on an all-in basis, so inclusive of the fact that you do have some professional fees. You have things like a bond rating, offering prospectus that you provide investors that do have some cost to those. But on an all-in basis, the funds are costing 5.12%, so just over 5%. We were able to make what I would consider an improvement in the original structuring of the bonds by identifying a portion of the project as it's not earmarked ultimately for private use, things that really fall into the public governmental nature, so some improvements to the infrastructure that are really just governmental in nature. We were able to finance those on a tax exempt basis. So the longest maturities of our bonds, we converted from a more expensive taxable cost of funds down to a less expensive tax exempt. In total, the annual payment on the bond is just a tick over $3.7 million, which is well below where we had estimated it previously back when we started this process last fall. These are publicly offered bonds, and so part of that process is we went to the rating agencies who affirmed the county's AA2 credit rating, which is fantastic. And I will read directly from their report if you will go over it. One of the credit strengths of Lowndes County is the long track record of maintaining balanced budgets and building reserves to help develop funds. So that is a direct reflection of this board, and you should be committed for that long-term focus on putting Lowndes County on a very firm financial footing. They talked about things like the hurricane and your ability to respond to those type of things and to move forward and to have reserves in place to quite literally weather the storm. So don't think that goes unnoticed by both the investor community and the rating agencies. It absolutely does. And again, that's a credit to this body. And also, you know, the other thing is for just the progressive focus that you guys have in terms of economic development. There are a lot of places that do not provide standing support financially to an economic development, to a development goal. And you guys do that. They have what's really a stable source of financing, and they know that they can go out and do things like acquire property that will be available for prospects and do that. And again, that is a direct reflection of the commission and the support you provide them. So that's all, really all the nuts and bolts of my presentation. I would tell you, there's one more thing to add. Page 2, Stephanie Black, Walter Elliott, you've got as good a team at the staff level as anywhere that we work. And we work all up and down the state of Georgia. And your folks know where everything is. They know what happens when I push this button, what's going to happen over there. Anytime we need a piece of information, or rating agencies or investors, somebody wants to know something, your folks can put their hands on it and give it to us in a very, very efficient manner. And that's not the case anywhere. So I just want to give those folks also a pat on the back, 'cause they do a fantastic job for us. So, Mr. Chairman, I'm happy to take any questions.
Any questions for Mr. Owens?
Yes, sir.
My only question, I mean, the county's been involved with that in the lines since many times.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Industrial authority developed. When was the last time that this happened prior to?
The last time that the authority accessed bond was 2019, and that was a refinance of some prior bonds. So we lowered the rate there, and then we added a little bit to what they borrowed to go out and make some land purchases. And I think you see sort of the fruits of some of those past efforts now in terms of your economic development.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thanks, Tom.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, if I could also add for the record that exhibits A, B, and C are substituted for the final loan documents in our packet. So the attorney will leave that verification for this party. So that information is in the room and it has been updated.
All right, any other questions? Commissioners, I will entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Do we have a motion to approve?
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the vote. All in favor of the motion, signify by aye. Aye. Any opposed, like sign? Hearing none, motion carries.